Making sure that you understand how you're going to be scored in your writing assignments is important for successful students. Reading through and making sure you understand the writing rubric that you can see on the screen here is the first step to be sure you understand what's expected of you and how you're going to be scored. So just generally speaking, a rubric is a guide that your instructors follow when they're scoring your essay. The use of a rubric helps instructors focus on the most important parts of each assignment and guides them to help make scoring more equitable for all students. Students can use the rubric too to make sure that they earn the minimum passing score of 12 points out of 20 or better on each of their essays. So taking a look at the rubric is really important. Our writing rubric is broken into 4 categories. We have the first one, which is content, then the second, which is organization. Then our third is voice, word choice, and fluency. And finally, we score you on APA format. We're going to take a close look at each of these individual categories. The first is the content. Content is where we check to see if you followed the instructions in the prompt and have provided the evidence required to support your points. If you take a closer look at this part of the rubric, this category will score you on whether or not you have focused on the topic of the writing prompt. If you have an appropriate and clear main idea within your writing, and whether or not you have provided clear and appropriate details and evidence to support that main idea. So you can score the highest if you look at the wording here. It says exceptionally clear, focused, engaging with relevant, strong supporting details. That means it was on topic, it was clear, it was interesting to read. And then we go to the other end of the rubric. It lacks a main idea, meaning it's just all over the board, and development is minimal or non-existent. So you can have a clear main idea or thesis for your writing, but if you don't support that main point with evidence and support, then you're going to score lower on the rubric. If you don't have a clear focus and veer away from the assignment, your score will be negatively impacted as well. You can see on the rubric that you're going to score a 1 or a 2 if you don't have a clear focus for your writing. We already looked at 1, but if you look at 2, it says purpose and main idea are unclear and irrelevant details have been included. So things that aren't even really about the topic have been included in the paper, maybe to reach that maximum, the minimum page requirement, but we don't want to add irrelevant details because that's going to lose that focus that's so important in our essays. So because of all this, your goal as you begin writing is to first be sure you understand what the prompt's asking you to do. Once you understand that prompt, your next step is to be sure you know what the main idea or thesis of your essay is going to be. Once you know that, you're going to come up with at least 3 points or topic sentences based on evidence you found to support your thesis or main idea. Now, where do you find that evidence? Well, you find the evidence in sources, including the text, to prove those topic sentences. An important point to remember is that everything in your essay has to come back to supporting the main idea or thesis in your essay. If you do this, you can see on the rubric that you're going to score a 4 or 5 on the grading scale. So let's look at the 4. It says evident main idea with support, which may be general or limited, but you have that main idea and you've supported it with evidence and reasoning. And then the 5, it's exceptionally clear. It has relevant, strong supporting details. The next category is organization. Organization is where we check if you have all the parts of an essay ordered in a way that makes sense according to the instructions of the prompt. So if you have a main idea or thesis and have broken this down into at least 3 topic sentences that support your main idea, you're well on your way to organizing a clear piece of writing. So that content section is the foundation of a good essay. And then we're going to scroll down and we see that organization is directly tied to content. You're going to notice on the rubric that if you have no introduction or conclusion for your writing, you're going to score lower. So let's look at that 1. Lack of coherence, confusing, no identifiable introduction or conclusion. Over here we mention a weak intro, body, and conclusion. Often students struggle with starting their writing because they don't know how to begin their introduction. So a really good tip is to start by creating an outline of your thesis and the 3 topic sentences that support that thesis. You can worry about your introduction and conclusion after the body paragraphs of your writing are completed. So once you've organized and gathered your facts, you're going to place each of them under your topic sentences to create separate body paragraphs that are each about their own ideas. So you want each paragraph to focus on one idea. If you float back and forth in your body paragraphs without a focus on one idea, you're going to score closer to a 2 or 3 on the rubric. So you see again, it's lack of structure and disorganized, hard to follow. Over here, it says organization is fair, but it might be a list. They're not fully developed. If you have all your evidence located in the body paragraph with the correct topic sentence, then you're more likely to score that 4 or that 5 because there is evidence of an attempt to have a clear introduction, body, and conclusion. The rubric also requires that you have more than just a list of facts in your writing. So another factor that can affect your organization score is your use of transitions and explanations between your ideas. So instead of listing your evidence one piece at a time in a body paragraph, you want to take some time after each piece of evidence to explain the importance of it and then go ahead and connect it back to the writing prompt. You want to try to remember that if your instructor wanted you to write a list, they would have asked for a list. They want you to write an essay, so be sure that you're explaining and connecting each idea to score higher on the rubric. So you're going to do that in your own words. So after each quote or paraphrase that you have in your writing, you're going to explain it in your own words afterwards. The third category is voice, word choice, and fluency. Voice, word choice, and fluency is where we score your use of words, how you structure your sentences, and if you understand the basics of spelling, punctuation, and grammar. If your writing includes only short, unclear, fragmented sentences, a lack of punctuation, and words that are used incorrectly, then you're going to score a 1 in this category. So taking a look at the 1, it says it lacks sentence variety and structure, it's difficult to follow, confusing at times, grammar errors are distracting. So the purpose of writing is to communicate effectively. If your writing is lacking some of those basic structures and rules, then the instructor is going to have a hard time understanding what you're trying to communicate to them, and you're going to score that 1, and we don't want that. To score higher on the part of the rubric for voice, word choice, and fluency, here are some important tips to follow. You're going to notice that the rubric asks for complex and varied sentences over here at 5. Complex and varied sentences. And then under 4, it says good sentence structure with variety, strong control of conventions, errors are minor. This means that after you write your initial draft, you're going to want to go back through your writing and see what sentences you can combine and what sentences need to be separated with punctuation. This is also the category that mentions awkward writing. So if you look at under 3, it says that it's there, but it's awkward. If you're unsure of your ideas, sometimes it's hard to get them expressed in an essay. Because of that, you might have to revisit your content and be sure that you are clear about what you're trying to say to avoid scoring a 1, 2, or 3 on the rubric. And then finally, editing your spelling, capitalization, and punctuation is also important. It can feel tedious, but if you want to score a 4 or 5, you're going to have to take the time to do it. You can start by making sure that you've tackled the basics by capitalizing the first word of every sentence and all proper nouns. Next, you're going to check your spelling and be sure you're using the right word in the right spot of your writing. There's no need to go overboard trying to use fancy words, but if you do, be sure you see that the rubric rewards you for using a broad range of words. See up here at the 4. Or it also describes carefully chosen words under 5. So that means that you're going to want to use them correctly if you're going to be using some maybe higher level word choice. The final category on the rubric is APA format. APA format should be a big focus of your writing because if you score a 1 in this category, you can see on the rubric that's an automatic resubmission required, indicated by a score of 11. So you want to earn that 12 to earn a passing grade. Otherwise, you have to resubmit a new version of your work in order to earn that minimum 12 on your essay. So in order to understand APA format, each course has included links and resources for you, including examples about how to follow this form. So use the resources that have been provided for you. You can see on the rubric that the 3 elements of APA format are right over here at the beginning of the rubric. Those include a title page, in-text citations, and a reference page. So they're listed right here. If you miss any one of these elements, you're automatically going to score that 1. So again, it says automatic resubmission required. So if you have 1 or more of the 3 components missing, you're going to have to resubmit that essay to try to earn a 12. Not passing an essay because you didn't take the time to add a title page or you didn't take time to put your references on a separate page can be really discouraging. So be sure to check the rubric's details before you submit your essays. This is here to help you understand what we expect you to do before submitting your essay. And because you're limited to 2 attempts at an essay, it's better to get this down right the first time. Now, if you have at least all 3 elements of APA formatting, even if they're a little off, you can score the needed 2 in this category. However, if you want a higher score, a 3 or 4 or a 5, you're going to want to be sure that these 3 elements are not only in the essay, but that they're done correctly as well. You can see that if you paraphrase or quote a piece of information from your source, including a website, book, or the class readings, you have to include in-text citation and list that source on your reference page. At best, you're going to score a 2 or a 3 if you're missing some of your citations. So you can see under 2, it says the 3 components are attempted but incorrectly formatted, or maybe you need additional in-text citations, but you've given it a shot, you've added at least most of your in-text citations. And then under 3, it says formatting errors are apparent in the 3 components and our paper lacks sufficient in-text citations. So now you've almost got it down, but maybe you have a period in the wrong spot or your parentheses are not quite in the right spot. Or you remembered the beginning quotes, but not the end quotes of quoted words. So something like that might earn you a 3. So if you include only quoted words or include only paraphrased words, even if you cite your sources, the highest you can possibly score is over here in a 4. So be sure you're going to include a variety of paraphrasing and quoting with your in-text citations if you want to earn that 5. So you can see the 3 components are error-free, ample mix of quotations and paraphrasing implemented with in-text citations. So overall, in looking at this rubric, it might take a little longer to earn those higher scores in each of these rubric categories, but once you earn that nearly perfect or perfect score, you're going to feel so good about yourself. It's going to be totally worth it. So just to review, we want to make sure that your content, organization, voice, word choice, and fluency, and APA format are all paid attention to before you submit your essay. Your instructor is going to give you feedback, and then you can always shoot for a higher score in your second attempt. But what you don't want to do is just to completely neglect one area, especially with this APA format with the title page, in-text citations, and reference page, and automatically earn that 11 out of 20 and miss the mark that first time. We want you to be able to just constantly be improving your writing. So paying attention to the rubric is a great way to start.